Hi everyone, Cheryl here today with Kadoodlebug Designs, and today's project's going to be the Gnomie Friends Basket Full of Love, Ellie. Isn't she cute? I just love her. And so I had a few people asking about the layering on her, so I figured I would do a video. So let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I do, as you can see here, is I separate all my pieces. So I put the hat, I get all the hearts, the body, the basket, and then I have her hair. And then the main piece is right here. And so we'll start with having that there. So I'll try to keep her in view if I can. So the first thing I want to do is work on the basket. We can get the basket ready to go. That way it's ready when we need to place it. So the color I used on all the basket pieces is the antique linen. And I tried to leave just one piece on each to kind of just show how I distress. If you haven't watched some of my other videos, I do have other videos showing distressing and different techniques and whatnot. And so there's our main piece for our basket. And that again is the antique linen. You can use whatever you choose. So for the basket, what we want to do is we want to start with our top piece and our bottom piece. And they don't go, if you're ever wondering, this is kind of how I figure how to do some of the things. I use this as my guide. And so I will kind of just place and see where I think stuff will go. And we know this has to go under there a tad bit. So we're just going to do a line I'm thinking right about there. And it doesn't really have to be perfect. If you're just wanting it to get, pretty close to what the photo looks like, then that's the way. Sometimes I have to pick my pieces up to make sure everything's lined up. And in the videos, I don't do that a lot. But it is easy. Oops, that's the wrong piece. I think I'm going to go a little bit more glue on there. So we want this one not all the way to the bottom. So we want our two pieces on there, and I still have ink on my hands, but anyways, so we have those two. So the next piece is going to be our center piece. So you just try to get it in the center. And that was pretty good, even with outlining that. Let's see. And we want it all the way to the bottom. We're not worried about the top because the top will be covered. And so that looks pretty good, right? Okay, so we have our middle piece, and then now we want to add our other middle piece. And so we're just going to bring that like so. And again, if you need to pick them up to see how they look, you can surely do that. Okay. And so now we can add these pieces that go on both sides. And I just add some glue. You can add more if you need to add more glue. The cardstock I'm using is Basil Shimmer on this one. And then since the muzzle all gets cut out in that color, all I did was flip them. And so I'm using the back side of that for the muzzle. You could change the color and have it cut out a different, but I wasn't too worried about that because I like the color on the back of this. And I thought the little shimmer for the basket would be cute. Again, you can use anything that you choose. Okay, so we have our basket ready, and I'm not going to add my piece, but I am going to push that to the side. So now that our basket's ready, the next thing that we want to work on is pretty much the bear. And I did all my pieces on the bear, and I'm just going to show you a couple. That way you can see what color I use. So I did choose on this to use the chocolate chip from Stampin' Up. It's an oldie, but it works. So I will ink up for these darker ones and get them all done up. And typically I start with the darker, and then what's left on this, you're able to come in and gently do around the muzzle of this bear, the little Gnomie bear, and get it a little lighter. And so we have those done. So that is the chocolate brown. And then for this, whoops, for her cheeks, what I do is I come in with some chalk. I'm using an old set that I bought like a long time ago, probably like 2005. And I just use these brushes that I got off of Amazon. I did buy a couple at Michael's, but I bought a set off of Amazon for really cheap. You almost can't beat the price on these because I think you get a set of 10 of them, and it's anywhere from, I think, $9 to $10. So a really good deal if you're looking for brushes. I would say to get them on Amazon if you want to save some money and, you know, spend it somewhere else. So for the hearts, the way I did mine, I'm not going to pull them all. Let's just pull. The way I did mine is I used the ruby red, and I did, again, I inked this up, and this sponge is like no good, but I'm going to use it anyways. So I ink it up really good and then come in and give it a nice deep edge. Now, I'm only going to use one red. You could always choose to use two, but so I did the dark, and then I come in with the same brush and light, and I'll come around. That one's already done. I forgot I had kind of prepped, and I just come lightly around this lighter red. So if you're going to be using two reds, you can come in with one red shade, and that way you don't have to use two. If you want to use two, that's fine. Oh, and let's do the little guy, because I forgot to do him. And I'm going to have red all over again. So I keep some alcohol spray and put it in an old sanitizer spray bottle, and to try to help, because I'm not going to run up to the bathroom. Okay, so okay, so we have that done. We've used our red. So now on to the pink, and I think so the pink I'm using is Stampin' Up's Pink Pirouette, but you can use, again, just pull any pink that you have that goes with whatever of your paper, and just get that. So I did kind of save that. This again is the shimmer from Basil. Now on the hat, if you're wanting to come in this little hoop, I just come in with a pink that I think will match good, and I just kind of go like that with a marker. And then you can kind of come around the edge and do that if you need. But I did also use the ink, the little dauber as well. Okay, so I think I've shown everything. So now we can start the assembly process for it. Oh boy, I spent 9 minutes doing that. Sorry, you guys. So I do like to use the art glitter glue, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the hearts, and the first two hearts that go on are the pink here and this red one here. So if you look at it kind of, if you look at the base piece, it kind of helps a little bit with placement. So we're going to just place the pink one, and I'm going to have to lift that because, like, if I don't, then I'll have white showing. And then over here is the light red. And we'll just place that one there. And kind of move it. And there you have that. So, okay. So we have our pink and our light red. So the next one that comes in is going to be this pink over here. A lot of times I'll just try to eyeball where it's going to go. Whoops. So we're going to go with a light pink. And that way I'm not touching that so much. That red one should have went over a little bit. But if you have white showing at all, you can always come in with a marker and go around the edge for whatever color you're needing to cover. Okay, whoops. Let's get, oh, I did do that one. Let's kind of get that one there. Yeah, see. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we've got that one. So now we want to come in with the dark red. And I am going to put the glue on the back of this that way, because he's a bigger piece. And I'm using the edge kind of as my guide. So if you need to, there's that one. So now we'll come over here and we're going to do another dark red. So we want to get all our hearts on first on this backing here. And here's the outer part of this heart. So it kind of helps to show you where to put it. And that's the nice thing about having the little base. And then we want to come in with our light pink again. So we're going to go light pink, heart. And again, we have our little template that kind of guides you where to put that. So we have that, and then we're going to use the light red, and I'm just going to put some glue on the back, and I'm using this as the guide right there. And so there's all the hearts that we need on here. So the next thing I want to do is the body and the arms. And before I start gluing anything, I always try to, whoops. Oh, let's see if I can get that. You're not even going to really see the arms, but I like to get things kind of lined up and see how much I'm covering by just putting the basket right here and right here. And so it kind of helps give you an idea, and I think that looks good. And remember, her hair's going to come in and cover a lot of this. So we'll just put a little bit of glue on the back of the arm. Whoops. You can put that arm right there. This one could kind of come up a little bit, I think. It'll all be covered. And then I just put a nice amount of the glue for the body. Okay. So that should be good because the head will come about. I'm thinking the head comes about right there, but okay. So we have the body on. So now the next thing would be we need to put the basket on now. And so I'm going to go ahead and glue the basket. And I have to lift it so I can see. I know one time when I did a video, when I went and lifted it, it was like white was showing. I'm like, oops. And then we're going to go ahead and put the top part of the basket. And I kind of want to be able to move that. Let's see if that's going to, whoops. Come on. Ah! I'm moving it, but I'm moving it the wrong way. Let's see. Come on. There we go. Okay, so hopefully that helps. So now we've got pretty much quite a bit done, right? So we've got the basket on, and now we can do our hair. So on the hair, I did not distress this hair, you can go ahead and distress yours. I just left it. I'd probably do like a very faint blue or maybe a gray or a little silver. So kind of place those where you think you're going to want them. And I'm thinking that's probably about where I want them. Now you can come down a little bit because remember her head is going to cover, her head's going to cover this. So I'm thinking I can actually bring it down a little bit more because that way the bows will be down a little more on her. Let's see if I can get this one. I'm kind of thinking on this one to come up there maybe. Yeah, let's go. And I covered the arms, but that's okay. Okay, so we've got her hair. So the next thing is going to be the head. And to make sure that I've got the head in the right place, I kind of take the hat and place it and just see, okay, that looks good to me. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get the head put on. I'm just going to leave a little bit. Oops, I don't want any red on that. That's going to show. Okay, let me make sure the hat. Yep, so the hat looks good. Okay, so the next thing is going to be her muzzle. We want to get all that placed on. And we've got our pink on there. I added my white dots last. So you can always do that later. Okay, so we have her little muzzle on, and then so the hat's going to go on, but we need to add her ears. Oh, and I forgot to put the glue. Usually I'll get those glued on. So I think that one's going to go over there. Oh. Get that moved a little bit. Okay, and then we're going to go ahead and do this one. Okay, so we're going to get these ears placed. So we know that the one's going to cover right here somewhere, but let's see where it's going to go. That's why I like using this, because now I can just come in and be like, okay, well, that actually looks good right where it's at. Could bring it down some. Let's push that down a tad. There we go. Let's see if that looks good. Okay, I think that looks good. So now I want to add the other one to this side. And I'm really not sure. I want to see where the placement's going to be because your hat. So see if I would have just glued that on. I want that out quite a bit. Let's see. Well, that's what's nice about having the base. That's cute. Okay. I love her. She is so stinking cute. All right. So now let's go ahead and glue the hat on. So I'm just going to add a bunch of glue. And get that. Whoops. If I can lift that, get that on there. There we go. I think that looks pretty good. Okay. And then we'll get the bottom part of her hat on because we want to add her little nose, right? There. Okay. And then we're going to add the nose right there. So, whoops, what is that? Okay, so her nose is on. And then we want to add her little paws, hands. see, we'll get one, well, one right here, and one right there. Cute. And then we're going to go ahead and add the bows. I want those bows on here. So we'll go one right there, and the others there. And then for the center, I'm just going to use, now it did come with the little pieces, but I'm using some red little, I don't know, pearls, the little, and I like to glue them on. I don't use any of the sticky back stuff. This way they stay on. I don't have to worry about a year or two from now it falling off, because the glue just keeps them really nice. Okay, so that one's done. And then we're going to go ahead and add her little heart here, and she has a heart here. There's that one. And then, whoops, and then there's this one. Okay, and then we have the little extra one you can use wherever. I thought about just putting it on the bottom of the basket, but it's gonna go to the side for now. And then for the whites, I just used the Posca pen, and we'll just add a little bit of white. Whoops, her nose is coming up. And then I just kind of do a little bit here. We can do a little lines on her bows, the paws. And then I'm thinking, oh, and then we want to add the little 3 dots. And you can make her cheeks a little darker if you want. But I hope you enjoyed my video today. And thank you for stopping by. And if you liked my video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos, please do follow. Thank you. Bye-bye.